The landings on D-Day produced some pretty crazy stuff, lots of gadgets and innovations that had a huge impact on its success, and probably without these tools, it probably would have failed. One of these gadgets was the Paradummy. It was a deception device that looked just like an Action Man toy doll, but this was no toy. The night before D-Day, the Allies parachuted these dolls near Calais to make it look as if the Allies were going to land there. They strapped timed explosives to the dolls that would fire when they hit the ground. They would start exploding, making the Germans believe Allied troops was landing there. Crazy thinking from the Allies. One of many engineering masterpieces from D-Day was the mine flail. It's a vehicle mount device that makes a safe path through a minefield by deliberately detonating landmines in front of the vehicle that carries it. This was used for clearing the beaches in Normandy. Brilliant idea. The idea is attributed to a South African soldier, Captain Abraham du Toit. A test rig was constructed in South Africa, and results were so encouraging that du Toit was promoted and sent to England to develop the idea. Literally, this thing saved a lot of lives. Then, there's the Mulberry Harbors. There were 2 temporary portable harbors developed by the British Admiralty and War Office during the build-up to D-Day to facilitate the rapid offloading of cargo onto beaches during the Allied invasion. They were designed and built in under a year in great secrecy. Within hours of the Allies creating beachheads after D-Day, sections of the 2 prefabricated harbors were towed across the English Channel from southern England and placed in position off Omaha Beach. What an idea. Crazy. The moon and the tide were all crucial factors when planning the June invasion. Air operations required clear skies and a full moon for good visibility. Naval operations required calm seas, and ground troops needed to land at low tide. So that's where the tide prediction machine comes into play. The Allies consulted a number of meteorologists and other experts when planning the invasion. British mathematician Arthur Thomas Dudson had begun working on existing models of tide prediction machines, essentially mechanized calculators that could reveal tidal patterns. And then, not forgetting, there were thousands of landing craft which were used to transport men and equipment across the English Channel on D-Day. Many different types of craft were used, ranging from tiny assault landing craft to huge landing ships. Other landing craft were fitted with guns or rockets. There was even a landing barge kitchen to prepare food for the troops. Crazy. The use of landing craft meant that the Allies could land troops and heavy equipment, such as tanks, on strongly defended beaches. Because equipment could be brought directly onto the beaches, the landing craft were also a short-term solution to the problem of securing the harbors and ports that were needed for the immediate buildup of men and materiel, a huge asset to have for the Allies on D-Day. And what about the Horsa gliders? They made significant contributions to airborne assaults throughout the latter part of the Second World War. On D-Day, these gliders were used on an unprecedented scale to transport troops and supplies to Normandy. They were towed by transport or bomber aircraft before gliding into the landing zone, where supplies could be retrieved. Gliders transported heavier equipment that could not be delivered via parachute drops, or when using larger transport aircraft was not possible. They were used on the famous Pegasus Bridge attack, where under the command of Major John Howard, D Company was to land close by the bridges in 6 air-speed Horsa gliders, and in a coup de main operation, take both intact and hold them until relieved by the main British invasion forces. There's a great scene in the film The Longest Day, which depicts the operation. Crazy how the British mounted the operation. Real genius innovation by the British. D-Day was a crazy day, and these gadgets and inventions saved and took a lot of lives. What I have spoken about is just a fraction of what was made and used, and to all those who fell and survived, I salute you.